But unfortunately, all of them need to understand the importance of collective integrity. It is only collective integrity that will keep the ship afloat. Then Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, gives us the sacred process. Write 108 times collective integrity. Not selective or individual integrity. Individual integrity is good, but it is collective integrity. Only that can keep the ship afloat and successful. My second responsibility is making my Sangha, Kailasa, all who gave their individual integrity to me, realize collective integrity. All our ashrams, in every room, we should put a small board. Collective integrity keeps the ship afloat, not just individual integrity. So the people who are working in accounts department, distributing money, and the people who are working in Goshala, keeping it clean and cows healthy and happy, and people who are doing agriculture, growing the herbs, and people who are doing the pujas in the temple, everyone keeps the collective integrity to keep the ship afloat. I have some people who are highly obedient to Guru Vak, but completely cranky, lusu, who cannot even talk to others to make a simple coordination. You have to write 100 times. Collective integrity keeps the ship afloat. Make Kailasa success. Makes my life success. Next, keep scrolling, please. Thank you. If one department fails, then be very clear. Everyone is going to lose their job and life because the ship is going to sink. In all our ashrams, temples, monasteries, gurukuls, we should have a clear board in every hall, every room, even in devotee's house, living in like an extended Kailasa. It is a collective integrity that makes your life and Kailasa successful. People who can make collective integrity successful are the leaders working with others. Whatever needed to be done, making it happen. Next, keep scrolling, please. My third work is making Hindus aware how they're being cheated, exploited, destroyed, hit, and persecuted. One of the worst things is Hindus are not even realizing they're being persecuted. They are under siege. A very active war is going on. Hinduism is the fastest shrinking religion in the world. Go and see the statistics. Just see the last 100 years track record. You will understand what I'm saying. These three are more important responsibilities. Let me do my first responsibility, inspiring, initiating, making all of you understand in every level of consciousness and experiencing Divya Sarira, that divine conscious body. Understand these few principles. They are universal, Sarvabhauma Vrata, universal vows and universal principles. Sattvic means anything which awakens the qualities of consciousness in you, like extreme love and fulfillment. When I manifest from samadhi, the kind of love, joy, excitement, and intensity I feel, actually, this withdrawing from society, I am enjoying like anything. I'm basically a loner who enjoys his loneliness. Aloneness, completely, sorry, that was the wrong word. The next word, next slide, please. It is, I don't feel intimidated or disturbed by the crowd, thousands who are coming. I don't hate people, but I enjoy my space just being with me in samadhi. It is like how you feel you are alive in your body. Bliss is a living experience for me in samadhi. It is just alive. And that is what I call anything that infuses bliss alive as living experience in you is sattva. That is what I call sattva. Though your sincerity, through your sincerity, show you want everyone to come to collective integrity. Constantly holding the space, talking to everyone, reaching out, inspiring, educating everyone about collective integrity and how only collective integrity is going to make this ship afloat. Individual integrity alone is not enough to keep the ship afloat. You realizing and making everyone realize only that will make the ship afloat. And Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, is addressing Sri Nitya Bhushanananda, says, I know you are integrated to me individually, but you need to work for collective integrity. As a leader, as a person who works for collective integrity. Actually, there's no manual. You need to start working with people, listening, bringing completion within yourself. Scroll, please. If you are joining for the first time, if you are tuning in just now or in the last few minutes, what we are entering into is the Vakyartha Sada segment, where we'll be having a live, sacred spiritual process and deeply sharing our experiences, our internal cognitions, our internalysis of the great truth about collective integrity. And through this, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has blessed the Vakyartha Sada's process to deeply internalize more and more about collective integrity and make that as a reality in our life. So we're continuing on, recalling the sacred truths that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism revealed just a few days back during the live Nithyananda Satsang. We have a process manifesting everyone's reality that used to be in the syllabus in the 4th level of the Inner Awakening program, where everyone's vision, ambition is shared and everyone works together for it. That should become the collective vision of any Kailasa ecosystem, any Kailasa where the collective integrity becomes the ecosystem. That Kailasa will be successful. That's all. Maybe you all think about collective integrity and do the Vakyartha Sadas about collective integrity. Not having collective integrity is the sole source reason for all problems of Hindus. Any Kailasa brings collective integrity, it will be successful and solve all problems of Hindus. When collective integrity is brought, everyone will be successful. Simple super determinism to bring collective integrity is enough to bring collective integrity. How much I am attacked, abused externally and internally, but super determinism to keep the collective integrity is making the Kailasa happen, stay afloat and successful. Then the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism guides. Let us do the Vakyartha Sadas on this. Bring all of your questions. I will answer in the next live satsang. We will also, the Supreme Pontiff is blessing, and he continues to bless each and every one of us to radiate with collective integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching, causing, and Siddhartha Shaiva, Paramadvaita, the state, space, and powers of superconsciousness, and Kailasa of Paramashiva. And with this, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism concluded the Nithyananda Satsang. Following, now we move to the Vakyartha Sadas about collective integrity. I encourage each and every one of the viewers who are tuning in right now, make sure that you are participating. Let's take a few minutes. If you want to pen down and write down, or you want to, you can participate in the comments about your experiences with collective integrity. If you're a practicing Hindu, or you are a purist Hindu or sympathizing Hindu, let us understand and apply the great truths that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has revealed on the truths and the current status of Hinduism around the world. Hinduism is slowly diminishing in populations across the world. So why is this happening? How is it actually collective integrity? Let us internalize for a few minutes, and then we will continue with the Vakyartha Sadas. And each and every one of you can comment down below on your comments, your questions maybe, or your experiences with collective integrity. And let us have the Vakyartha Sadas going on now on collective integrity. We'll be right back with you in a few minutes and continue this segment in today's program.
We get you help. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become Kailashians.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. Kailasa is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life negativity, withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness. We can support you aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. If you are interested in enlightenment, we will immediately bring this to you. If you are not interested, we will explain the whole science, inspire you and make you interested in enlightenment time. We need to cater this enlightenment science to the whole world wherever they are, because enlightenment is the birthright of all human beings. Kailasa is responsible to provide that to all human beings. Kailasa is the totality of the knowledge I received from my gurus and practice manifested in my life, perfected by teaching millions of people from all cultures, time zones, backgrounds, genders, nationality, race, from every creed. So this absolutely perfected knowledge available to you, served to you in your home without even you moving out of your couch, free of cost.
Nithyanandam, and welcome back. So we are going to be continuing the Vakyartha Sadas on collective integrity. We just heard the revelations of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism on collective integrity, and we are now going to enter into a beautiful Vakyartha Sadas. And those of you who are listening to us on YouTube Live, Facebook Live, we invite you to come online and share your thoughts on collective integrity. And we have joining us for Vakyartha Sadas now, Shri Nitya Gauri Bharatananda from New Jersey, and who was famously referred to in the satsang as Akil. And he's here joining us today to share his thoughts on collective integrity. Nithyananda Maya.
Nithyananda,
Yes,
thank you
please
for
go ahead.
thank you for the opportunity here. Yeah, so earlier when Swamiji spoke about collective integrity, I was thinking about it, and then I began to realize how the Hindus operate, right, and the historical Hindu way of organizing Varnashrama Dharma. If you look at entire Varnashrama Dharma, it is centered around collective integrity. But unfortunately, if you look at today's Hindus, we are not necessarily centered around collective integrity. Like, we have a lot of personal integrity. And if you look at the achievement of Hindus globally, right? I mean, they are the most successful group of people when you look at them individually. And they were able to do all of this based on their personal integrity, individual integrity. Then I started to think about it. What if Hindus elevated themselves to work at the collective integrity level? See, right now, Hindus are the most hardworking people, right? No doubt about it. But if you look at it somehow, their hard work and success are, you can say, are not optimized. Now, if we bring in the collective integrity component into it, for the same level of hard work, they will have much more greater output. That is where I began to map it to what is collective intelligence. Now, if you look at collective intelligence, it is based on, I mean, it's out there in the popular literature. It basically has three components: the cognitions with which you operate, that means your ability to look into the reality and make a judgment call, and then the cooperation between different entities, between different groups, and then finally the coordination, right? So how we are able to have a coordinated action. Now, the problem with Hindus operating globally is we are very good at having cognitions about what works, what doesn't work. A cooperation, yes, it works up to a certain level, right? Like, for example, the way Hindus have built out their own support systems. Like, if you look at different communities, right, the business communities, or even pretty much every community has a support structure. Like, like how like the entire financing of Hindu business is built around the communities, jatis supporting themselves, right? They take the risk for the other jati members, they support them. Like, it's very common, right? If one person does well in a business, he will bring his entire village into success. So they're able to cooperate also reasonably well. The problem is coordination. When one Hindu group is affected, the rest of the Hindu groups are not able to come to the aid of that Hindu group, because there is no coordination happening at the deeper level. So that is the I would say, for a lack of better word, a flaw in the way Hindus are operating now. It's not a flaw of Hinduism, because Hinduism is built on Varnashrama Dharma, which forces you to be responsible for each other's success. And if you look at all of this, none of this requires intelligence. Intelligence is the byproduct of collective integrity. So, and even the popular literature doesn't say that it is intelligence. I mean, though they have though they use the word intelligence, but if you look at all the definitions, none of it has got to do with intelligence. Like you making a judgment call, like if you're in a constant I mean, if you have too many patterns, right, your ability to make a judgment call will be suboptimal. You'll not be able to make a proper judgment call. So as your patterns reduce, your ability to make a proper judgment call also increases. And so so we have to rephrase in the context of Hinduism, right? The whole collective integrity is very simply your ability to see Paramashivatva in others and patterns in others as separate entities. Now, when you're able to see Paramashivatva and patterns as separate entities, your ability to make judgment call or ability to figure out what is required becomes much more easy. You don't have to go through a lot of pain to figure it out. That's my 2 cents on what collective integrity is as understood by me.
Beautiful, yeah, beautifully shared. And one of the aspects that Swamiji had told about is, today Hindus, we do not have Hindu temples run by Hindus, and the education system being destroyed. The money from the Hindu temples is being used for so many other purposes, political purposes, being used for other religions. And all we as Hindus, we feel that what is happening is wrong. And we see very clearly the next generation is completely disconnected from Hinduism. Whatever is the next generation or the youth, the Hindu youth today, whether it is in India or whether it is in the US, the next generation is completely disconnected from the true core of Hinduism and now becoming more westernized and moving away from the true Vedagamic culture. And we as Hindu parents or we as Hindus realize this. But even though we realize it, we do not want to take that step towards bringing everybody together to make it happen. Why do you think this is the case? Why do Hindus lack in collective integrity as opposed to, let's say, people of other religions?
I mean, in my understanding, I could bring it down to 2 things. One, somewhere over the years, right, we got beaten down so much that we are still operating in a survival mode, even though we don't have to operate in a survival mode. So when you're trying to operate in survival mode, you're only worried about personal protection or personal optimization, because not everyone is geared up, right? See in Hinduism, what happened, not in Hinduism, generally what is happening right now to Hindus is Hindus are put in a spot, right, where they have to choose between their life and their right. Okay, now anyone who stood up for standing up for their rights has been persecuted, and anyone who stands up for the rights boldly has been persecuted boldly, for lack of a better word. Now this is what is happening to SPH, right? He has stood up as a tall figure in terms of standing up for Hindu rights. That is why he's being persecuted. Now this unfortunately has it has a real impact, right? Now a lot of Hindus are scared to stand up for their rights. Now their conditioning is, okay, fine, let me stand up for my life, it is enough, without realizing by standing up for their life they're only actually ensuring the destruction of their next generation. Like they are not able to see that they're in a situation where they have lost it, right? I mean, next generation is, nobody even disagrees with this. Okay, next generation, we don't know, right, what is going to happen to Hindus. So somehow, but what they also don't realize, because they're stuck in that pattern, they're not able to realize that they can stand up for their rights. If more and more Hindus stand up for their rights, they don't have to make this choice of rights versus life.
Exactly. And none of them today, Hindus do not feel that they want to stand up, because they feel like, okay, I'm too busy with my own life and I don't have time for maybe a common cause or a religious cause. Or people who do find time for that, they feel like, okay, I have done my part. If others don't do, what can I do? So, and somewhere there is a lack of hope. Can we even change it? The powers that are against Hinduism are too big. And even if I try to do something, is it even going to make an effect? Or will it make any change that's out there? I'm fighting against government and I'm fighting against government and I'm fighting against so many other huge opponents. And how I, as a normal Hindu, will be able to take this on? How can I be able to achieve this? Even if I do, it's only going to be a waste of effort, and maybe I should not even start. And that's how it is. Everything has been collapsed right now.
Yep.
A couple of days back, we had discussed about the case of, the death of George Floyd in the US. How the Black people felt that they have to come and stand for their rights, like the whole campaign of Black Lives Matter. But Hindus, we do not feel that. Even whether the two sadhus get attacked or the Supreme Pontiff himself gets attacked, we do not, I'm not saying go and do the violence, but even raising a collective voice, we do not feel we need to do that. Whether the Kanchi Seer was arrested or Swamiji was arrested or recently Shiv Shankar Baba was arrested, whoever it may be, we do not feel we need to stand up and rise and collectively raise a voice. What is your take on it, Aya?
So, I mean, it's unfortunately a very sad situation, right? I mean, I'm in a tough spot where do I blame Hindus or do I feel sorry for them, right? Like both of them are not very good for the future of Hindus. I mean, I think one of the prime reasons is Hindus have not seen the success of what a small core group of Hindus are able to do, right? Like, for example,
exactly.
in Adi Shaiva minority education books, they've reached out to UN and they've got some things published. I mean, this is the first time that somebody is showing that, okay, Hindus are actually getting persecuted. Till now, I mean, people think, okay, Hindu persecution is a myth, right? I mean, even though the data says it is otherwise. And unfortunately, what has happened is Hindus have invested their future in a certain small set of political outfits or cultural outfits who don't even know what they're trying to do for Hinduism. I mean, in that sense, they're like, I mean, how do I put it? They're thoroughly confused, and I mean, there is some kind of cognitive dissonance that is needed in them to wake them up. I mean, it's actually a very sad state where you are getting, I mean, the Holocaust is happening on you, and you think by sticking my head in the sand, the Holocaust will disappear. That is the current state of Hindus. I mean, because that gives them immediate comfort.
Absolutely, absolutely, Aya. And today, when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has brought out this whole concept of collective integrity, just internalizing this concept, let me just try to understand what is collective integrity. Let me start taking collective integrity. Let us take one step towards collective integrity. Can go a long way, in reviving Sanatana Hindu Dharma, in protecting all the endangered sciences, in keeping alive the science of enlightenment. And what is needed for today, as Supreme Pontiff has so beautifully shared, what is needed for today is every Hindu out there understanding that collective integrity is important. And it is because of the lack of collective integrity that we have lost sovereignty of 56 Hindu nations. We have lost so much of our wealth. We have lost all the temples. We have lost the tradition, the culture, the rich heritage, the rich economy. Everything has been lost. The Hindu medicinal system, everything is dying today because we as Hindus are not feeling responsible for the collective integrity. And if we can just listen to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and just realign ourselves and decide to take up the collective integrity, decide to stand up for collective integrity, that itself will go a long way for us to solve whatever problems that we are facing. Anything else you would like to share, Gauri Bharataya?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, there is one thing that I wanted to mention, right? See, today, a lot of Hindus feel proud of their ability to consume. I mean, because they have generated a lot of wealth and all of that. The problem with so much of consumption is that you are stuck in that that loop, right? Like, for example, Hindu thing, way of life, right? Consumption is fine up to a point, right? After to rise up of the consumption. Now, because there are no Hindu systems available for an ordinary person to fall back on, he's not able to break out of that. So it's like a vicious cycle, right? I mean, the state entities in a lot of countries ensure that Hindus don't have Hindu system. Because you don't have Hindu system, Hindus are not able to help themselves. So unless we we make some kind of an intervention, like finding like right now, because everything is online, the more and more we're able to do it online, give a fallback or a support system for Hindu to live Hinduism in some kind of way, right? That is the only way we'll be able to break out of this negative loop that we are in right now.
Absolutely, Aya. Beautifully shared. So beautiful, Aya. Thank you so much for coming and joining us live on Nithyananda TV for today's Vakyartha Sadas.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. So, dear viewers, and whoever, if you have any thoughts on collective integrity and wanted to participate in the Vakyartha Sadas, please do continue to comment on the YouTube live chat. We were going to be having many more sessions on the Vakyartha Sadas of collective integrity, and we invite each and every one of you to come and join us in this session on collective integrity, and let us debate, let us do the Vakyartha Sadas so we can understand what collective integrity is all about and how we can incorporate it so that the ecosystem, that whatever kind of ecosystem that we live in, that ecosystem radiates, becomes and operates like an enlightenment ecosystem. I hope all of you understood about collective integrity, got deeper insights about collective integrity. And yesterday, in the same program, we had shared with you about the process to maintain collective integrity. So with that, we are going to be concluding this segment. And the next segment we are going to be having is sharing about the persecution and attack that happened on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and Kailas, as recognized by the United Nations. So we are going to be having that segment where we are going to be having the victims of the persecution come forward and share their personal heart-wrenching stories. Short break.
We get you help. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become Kailashian.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns we have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural religious nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life. Continuous. Kailasa is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life activity, withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, so much of tiredness, laziness, we can support you aligning your diet, your attitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. If you are interested in enlightenment, we will immediately bring this to you. If you are not interested, We will explain the whole science, inspire you and make you interested in enlightenment time. We need to cater this enlightenment signs to the whole world wherever they are. Because enlightenment is the birth right of all human beings. Kailas is responsible to provide that. All human beings. Is the totality of the knowledge I received from my gurus and practice manifested in my life, perfected by teaching millions of people from all cultures, time zones, backgrounds, genders, nationality, race, from every creed. This absolutely perfected knowledge available to you, serve to you in your home without even you moving out of your couch, free of cost. We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you care, spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become Kailashian.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life. Continuous. E-Kailasa is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life negativity. From life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, thirstiness, we can support you, aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. If you are interested in enlightenment, we will immediately bring this to you. If you are not interested, we will explain the whole science, inspire you and make you interested in enlightenment science. We need to cater this enlightenment science to the whole world wherever they are. Because enlightenment is the birthright of all human beings. Kailasa is responsible to provide that to all human beings. Kailasa is the totality of the knowledge I received from my gurus and practice manifested in my life, perfected by teaching millions of people from all cultures, time zones, backgrounds, genders, nationality, race, from every creed. So this absolutely perfected, available to you, served to you in your home without even you moving out of your couch, free of cost. We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become e-Kailashian.
I want the whole world to know Hindus something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
E-Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened I mean by the word e-Kailasa? Listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself, in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailas, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa you is e-Kailas. I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist. Not by any revolution. But by evolution. And setting model community. Kailasas, enlightenment ecosystems, Sarvanya Pitas all over the world. All powerful cognition, knowledge, only when you live power manifestation and possibilities manifestation happens. It's a fundamental truth. Hinduism cannot live exclusively as one. All sampradayas of Hinduism is an ecosystem.
the whole planet flourish, spiritual prosperity. Whole we all have to coexist together.
What I mean by the word e-Kailasa, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself. In your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is e-Kailasa.
I will revive Hindu. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution. And setting model communities. Kailasa, enlightenment ecosystems, Sarvanya Pitas all over the world.
All powerful cognition, knowledge, only when you live, power manifestation and possibilities manifestation happens. This is a fundamental truth.
Hinduism cannot live exclusively as one sampradaya. No. All sampradayas of Hinduism is an ecosystem. So don't keep quiet thinking that if one sampradaya is attacked, only that sampradaya is going to be affected. All of us are ecosystem.
I invite all of you to get involved and enjoy Hinduism by the principle of Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha. When you protect Dharma, Dharma protects you.
We will make the whole planet flourish spiritually. The spiritual prosperity will happen to the whole planet. We all have to coexist together.
What I mean by the word e-Kailasa, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is e-Kailasa. I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist. Not by any revolution, but by evolution.
Nithyanandam, to all the viewers, thank you for staying tuned with us. And if you are joining us right now, welcome to Nithyananda TV as we are continuing on in today's program. Over the last few days, if you have been joining us, you know. If you have not been joining us, we have been understanding, presenting to each and every one of you the persecution of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And just almost 1 week ago, we had a extremely relieving, wonderful news that the UN, the United Nations, has recognized the persecution against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, has given the Kailasa, all the Kailashians across the world, a voice to share the story of the violence and the pain that we feel to see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism undergo 10,000 times more attack, persecution, and continuously still contribute to the world. In this platform, during this segment, we'd like to request all the viewers for your listening to and your time during which I'm sure is very busy days. Just a few minutes to listen to each and every one of our stories, to listen to the stories of Hindu women who have taken up the lifestyle of sannyas, who've taken up the lifestyle as a Rudrakanya or a yogini, who dedicated their lives to the sacred Hindu sentiment, the sacred scriptures of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, living that as it is revived by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and sharing and enriching that with the whole world. And how, just because we wanted to do this, just because we took this up as a lifestyle, and we dedicated our lives to this beautiful, courageous mission for the revival of Kailasa, the ancient, enlightened, macrocosmic, borderless Hindu civilizational nation led by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, how we were attacked, raped, assaulted, manipulated, brainwashed, and so much more. As a victim myself, I thank the viewers for tuning in at this time and allowing me to share my story and allowing me to share the stories of all of the women of Kailasa and share our pain, share the experience of how we held on to Swamiji even in these moments of absolute dehumanization, manipulation by the leaders of the anti-Hindu militant forces. I request each and every one of you who are joining in right now, please make sure that you are sharing the link where the UN, the United Nations, and the ONHCR has recognized the persecution on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and recognized the denial of the rights of the women of Kailasa. The link is provided in the scroll below. Please go to that link, spend a few minutes and go to the link and share with your family, friends, and whoever you think might be interested. If you are a practicing Hindu or a sympathizing Hindu, or you're just curious to know more about Hinduism, please take a few minutes in your day-to-day and go to the link that is provided, that is in the scroll right now, of the ONHCR, how they have recognized the persecution of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And make sure that you go there. Once you go there, you'll see in the list of nations and indigenous communities protected and recognized by the ONHCR is Kailasa and Kailash Union, which is the movement, is the civilizational nation led by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and revived by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Today, as we are moving in our presentation, we're presenting to you about the violence that has happened against the indigenous women of Kailasa and how that has been used as a tactic for the cultural genocide against Kailasa. First and foremost, in genocides across the world, this has been explained thoroughly by the United Nations. First and foremost, it's been recognized how women and children are a primary target, the first target by terrorist forces as they come to, because of their inherent vulnerability and because their destruction, destabilization, brings destabilization to the entire community, the entire population, and jeopardizes the future of the population by first attacking the women. They destabilize the entire civilization. And then by the children, they jeopardize the future of that nation, population, or community. And we have seen these examples in genocides which have
नित्यानन्देश्वर सदाशिव समारम्भां नित्यानन्देश्वरि Adishakti Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. I welcome you all with my love and respects. I welcome all the devotees, disciples, samajis, satsangis, Srimahans, Mahans, Sarvanyapeta Yajamans, sitting with us all over the world, having Nayanadiksha on this special night of Mahasadashivaratri all over the world. The city is sitting with us through two-way video conferencing, all the adhinams, temples, branches, ashrams. I welcome all of you with my love and blessings. My message on this auspicious night, Mahasadashivaratri, oneness with I'll share with you all some of the most important sacred secrets. The way Sadashiva exists, the way you exist. If you understand this sacred secret, you will simply know your existence and Sadashiva's existence is in oneness. Understand? As long as you don't understand the truth of Sadashiva's existence and the truth of your existence, both will be separate. Both will be different, sometimes even opposite. As long as there is separation, as long as there is gap, as long as there is duality, contradiction, conflict, confusion continues to exist. If understanding about his existence comes to place, and understanding about your existence comes to place, you will know both are in oneness. All struggle is ignorance. If you have cracked the code, nothing is struggle in the universe. Universe does not believe in struggle. Mahadeva himself is Bholenatha. Understand, he is a Bholenatha, and he made this universe for the people who are Bholenathas. He did not make this universe for complicated people. No. He made it for the people who are boles. Man who cracked the code and lives as bole is Shivagana. If you have not cracked the code of your existence, how much ever you struggle, how much ever you suffer, maybe you can achieve some so-called or little power. Decoding the existence of Sadashiva. Understand, people many times ask me, Shiva, is it a state or a person? Listen, he is beyond both. He is beyond both and both. Understanding is a state. Both are not wrong, but both are not right. They are not wrong, but they are not complete. Listen, many times the steps you take proves to be right or wrong only based on the further steps you take. The further steps decides whether the earlier steps you have taken is right or wrong. If you think Mahadeva is a person, manifested magnificent qualities, the state, space and powers to get into the next step, then thinking Mahadeva as person is not wrong. But if you think, oh, Mahadeva is a person, he is just glorified by an accident, then you thinking Mahadeva as a person is a disrespect. Trying to reduce him to a person. Some of the so-called modern day self-claimed, self-declared, self-proclaimed Hindu scholars who are robbing Hinduism to digest into various thought currents. They have started talking like, oh, the man who has become God for the humanity. So they try to understand, oh man, but charisma, and maybe after that accidentally through marketing, branding, he has become God. If you understand in that language, you will also plan for marketing and branding. If you think man lived the state of Mahadeva, Mahasadashiva, radiated the space of Mahasadashiva, manifested the powers of Mahasadashiva, the cosmos. If you think of Mahadeva from that angle, you will also plan for that. You will plan, yes, I should then achieve the state and space and manifest powers. So remembering, thinking of Mahadeva as a human being is not wrong, but not right. Not complete. The further steps you are going to take, that only will decide. Perceiving Mahadeva as a human being is right. People try to reduce him to just human being walked on planet Earth. They even try to date. Some try to claim, oh, it's only a state. Anybody can achieve. Again, this is also not wrong, but not completely right. If you feel it is a state and you move towards that state, then it's an amazing inspiration, right? If you think, oh, it's a state, then anybody who has achieved is Shiva, then I think these persons are also Shiva. Digest Hinduism into different religions. So your plan, your idea, your understanding is only to get rubber stamp for some of your ideas, not to reach the space of Mahasadashiva. Understand? That is why I am saying perceiving Mahadeva as a state or a person is not wrong. But whether it is right or not is going to be decided only by the further steps you take. You need to understand very clearly. The beauty of Sanatana Hindu Dharma understand this beautiful word. The beauty of Sanatana Hindu Dharma is all about experiencing. It's all about living. It's all about manifesting. Now, if I give you some understanding, Satya, about Sadashiva, it should manifest immediately as powers in you. State, space, powers. Listen carefully. Anything which is not manifesting powers in you is not Satya. Anything which puts you in power is Asatya. Anything which manifests powers in you is. Now this understanding Sadashiva cannot be reduced to a state, cannot be reduced to a person. He is beyond, and who can play in the state and as a person and beyond. He can remain as a state. He can manifest as a person, and he can do both at a time. He can remain as a state, he can manifest as a person, and he can play both at a time.